Hey everybody, this is D-Bird here, and you're on Social Flow, and I'm about to give y'all the E-Flow. Now, I have a review for you for Zootopia, and I'll be looking at notes on screen as well as in my hand for the movie. Let me start off saying I think this is one of the best Disney films to date. This is one of the greatest. I loved this movie. This will be a spoiler review, so if you want to leave, go ahead and leave. I'll put spoiler review in the title. But this was great. I'm gonna start off with Judy as a character that was energetic and very headstrong in what she wanted to do, and she accomplished it. But there was bumps along the way, people putting her down because she was a bunny, and I feel like it was reflecting like the situation in human world where women can't do what men can do, and if you're not a certain thing, you can't do what other people do. I thought that was amazing, as well as her family. The jokes in the movie were great. Even with her family, like trying to cheer her up and stuff like that, it was the movie was very funny, very very funny. Nick Wilde was a great character as well. His past was he became pretty much not a con artist, but like I guess a con artist. Yeah, con artist, I guess. Trickery sales dude, pretty much, because he was trying to be like a Boy Scout, and he was going to be the first predator in the Boy Scouts, but they put him down physically and mentally, and he just was like, if everybody's gonna see a fox as Sly, then I might as well just be that and not try to amount to anything greater than that. And that stuff was powerful. This movie was powerful. But before I get into all that, I want to talk about the world building. The world building was amazing. I tried to look at everything on screen because everything was so alive and so moving all the time. And the jokes and stuff they put in the movie while I was trying to capture all this stuff was great. It was really great. When Judy was coming to Zootopia, it was amazing looking. I was trying to soak it all in. My eyes were like, oh my gosh, look at all this stuff. I was like, oh man, this one was hard for me to take in all of this, but it was really great. This probably warrants a second time looking with all the stuff that was going on. Another viewing of the movie because there was a lot of stuff on screen going on, and I was trying to catch it and soak it all in, but it was just a lot. But the world felt very alive. I could see why people want to like be there. Me personally, I would like to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there or something like that. But if I had to live there, I don't know which part of Zootopia I would live in. It's hard. I have to think about that and probably get back to y'all or put it in the comment section below for y'all because they all look cool. But I feel like the rainforest was the most fleshed out out of pretty much all of them. So I just wanted to see more of the world. But Zootopia was great. The city. And let's see. I did like how they put like when she came to when she got assigned and came to Zootopia and went to the police department. What was his name? The dude at the front desk. He was very out there and funny. I liked him as a character. He was out there. He was, what's his name? Closser, I believe. And when he called her cute, and she was like, it's okay for a bunny to call a bunny cute, but when another animal calls a bunny cute, it's kind of. I was like, wow, that was like a little hint to what's coming further in the movie. I was like, oh, okay, I didn't know that they were gonna do that, but that was awesome. And that led into like the big scene after Nick and Judy found out that the mayor was holding all the animals hostage against their will, but they were like wild. He was trying to figure out what was wrong with them, and he was unlawfully holding them. When she got onto the press conference stage, it was like the prey were, not the prey, the animals were predators that were going wild mainly, and it was like maybe it's something in their DNA. I was like, whoa, they're taking it there? Disney, you taking it there? I was like, what? Get out of here. And she went all the way in. And this really pissed off Nick because Nick was a predator. And she was like, you have to basically, she's saying, keep a more focus on the predators, and because it doesn't look like that any non-predators are gonna be like going wild or anything. I was like, whoa. And when Nick like jumped at her, fake jumped at her, she had the fox repellent on her, and she like jumped back and was about to spray him. And that was a powerful scene, because and then they showed after that there were protests, like peaceful protesting, that all animals should be to get along, and they showed that the predators were like what, a small percentage of the population. Most of it were prey animals, and they were like 10% of the population. Predators were 10% or something like that. And I was like, wow. So they're doing the whole thing, that they're looking down on minorities, social divide. And then when she was in the office and they were like, I want you to, when, what's her name? Her name was Bellwether, was Judy Hopps, we want you to be the face of the ZPD. And she was like, no, cops shouldn't be, we're there to serve and protect, and we shouldn't be dividing groups, dividing the people into groups. We should be there to bring groups together and help everybody. And she resigned because of that. I was like, oh my gosh, this message that they're sending, they're doing the whole stereotyping, prejudice thing. I was like, Disney, how did you know? Because this is a thing in media now, not in media, but just in our society right now, that's going on with police brutality and stuff like that. And I was like, Disney, you brought this movie out at like the right time. How did you know? Like, because this movie's been working on for years. How did you know this was going to happen now? Like, oh my gosh, this movie that took the movie from here to here. It took it to a whole nother level, and that's why this movie is probably one of my favorite Disney movies to date right now. And everything about the movie was great. The references were great. Leave in the comments below what references you got, because I got the upcoming Disney movies, and then I got the Godfather movie reference, and then I got, what was the other reference in this movie to Breaking Bad? Those are the three I got. Leave in the comments description below if you got any other references that I might have missed. But the movie was just hilarious, and then putting that serious element in there just took it to a whole nother level. And then there was scary parts in this movie that made people like, in the theater, I heard people like, when the tiger jumped on the glass, I heard kids in the back were like, oh my gosh, that scared me. I was like, there's some scary things in this movie that happens, especially when the panther goes wild and is chasing him. I felt like in my chest, I was like, oh my gosh, they could possibly get eaten, because he went wild and would eat probably both of them. They are small animals. He would eat them. I was like, man, Disney, you were going all out in this movie. It was a great movie, I think. It was accessible for kids, and it was sophisticated enough where adults will get things and like, oh my gosh. And it also teaches kids about these things that they can like look back on this movie and then learn from, because this is real world stuff happening in an animated original film, and taking it and putting it in an animated movie for real world. I was like, wow, Disney did this. They made a sophisticated animated movie accessible, that is also accessible for kids to learn from these things. I was like, this movie is amazing. And then going back to when Judy became a police officer and went to the ZPD, majority of the animals were like bigger animals, predators, and like just big animals in general. And this when the chief was telling everybody the elephant in the room, because the elephant had a birthday, and then he was like beating up on the elephant. I was like, oh my gosh, this is kind of brutal in here. If someone hit her like that, they were hitting like the elephant, but if someone hit her like that, anybody on the force, she would get like destroyed. She might be in a coma. That's how dangerous the ZPD was. Like, it was mostly big animals, and it was just great. And all the emotional keys were there, and I feel like with the track record of Disney doing these animated films, I feel like they're starting to come into a renaissance, like another renaissance of animated films just made by Disney, and it's going to be great. I feel like they're changing the game right now. They've stepped into a new era of animated films for them, and think this movie, I believe, is a winner. Like, I feel like this is already Oscar contender. I'm putting my words on the line. I'm putting myself on the line. I'm saying this is Oscar contender movie. And I want to end it with a fan theory. I know this is probably it's too out there and whatnot, but the fan theory that I'm going to end this with is, now they say that the animals in the movie came from predator prey and it evolved to coexist with each other in this big city. They never showed how they're coexisting. Like, did all the predators become like vegans or something like that, or are they using tofu for the predators to eat? Because there's such a small population. And I was like, okay, cool. And I didn't understand that. I want to find more, but my fan theory is that maybe this is so out there, guys. Maybe that there was like the humans had like a civil war with each other, and we wiped ourselves out, and radiation and whatnot got into the animals and allowed them to evolve, and then they became the master race of Earth because we wiped ourselves out. That's my fan theory. Now, that's out there, but anyway, I'm just going to end the video on that. And I believe Zootopia, it was a damn near 10 out of 10 movie, I believe. I'm going to give it my unofficial score of damn near 10 out of 10. And I thought this was a freaking great movie. And you should go see this probably once or twice, because there's a lot that happens in this movie, and I think you would love it. And I think y'all would love it so much, and I loved it so much. So this is the end of the Zootopia review. And thanks everybody for watching, and D-Bird out.